I'm glad that he's confident. I like it. I like the confidence, but he's talking too much.
Fight fans, welcome back.
1 minute 58 seconds of the first round. Jaron Boots Ennis becomes WBA interim world champion.
It's fights like this that will help make boxing great again. Two undefeated elite-level operators in their prime, with two different philosophies of destruction and a division that can only have one face. And while opposites attract, the more technical and pure boxer will meet the king of chaos and one of the hardest punchers in the sport.
Yeah, I feel way better at 154 for sure. And yeah, them extra 7 pounds did justice. I feel great. I was feeling great all fight week. Like I said, I was on, even like when it was my last training for my last workout. Basically, I felt great.
This is a closer look between Boots Ennis versus Vergil Ortiz.
I said the time is now. We're in our prime right now. It's the best fight to be made in boxing. I told him that I'm gonna make him pay.
Boots Ennis is one of those rare fighters who somehow never fully stole the spotlight, despite being one of the most gifted boxers in the sport. Since turning professional, he has remained unbeaten, stacking win after win and pushing his record to perfection. The Philly-born star entered the professional scene with a statement: a decisive first-round knockout of Corey Muldrew in April 2016. From there, it was one ruthless display after another. With each opponent, Ennis evolved, sharper, faster, more technical, deadlier, on his rise to becoming arguably the best welterweight on the planet. Most of his fights ended in stoppages that left no doubt. He edged closer to the elite when he got his chance to fight for the vacant interim IBF welterweight title against Karen Chukadjian in January 2023. The fight failed to live up to the hype. Unfortunately, Boots struggled to put his opponent away. Going the full distance, criticism followed. Many claimed he was hit too much, even though he secured a unanimous decision victory. In reality, a Terence Crawford versus Boots Ennis fight should have followed, but several factors prevented this from happening. First, Crawford wanted bigger fights with greater commercial value. The higher the attention, the higher the payoff. For Crawford, Ennis was a lose-lose situation. At the time, many didn't believe Boots was ready for elite competition because he hadn't been tested against another top-tier opponent. His performance against Chukadjian didn't help his case. Had that fight ended in a first-round knockout, the narrative would have been completely different. Still, thanks to Crawford refusing to face his mandatory challenger, Boots became a world title holder for the first time in his career. Crawford got stripped. The title went straight to him. A few impressive title defenses followed, as he battered Roy Monvila to a 10th round knockout and sent David Avanesian packing after 5 rounds. Boots looked untouchable, over 30 wins on his record, and described as arguably the best in the division. However, none of this truly matters if you can't secure the fights that take you from great to elite. Boots Ennis needed bigger names on his resume, especially if he wanted the biggest fights. His former promotion had done nothing to help his case. So when he joined Matchroom and Eddie Hearn in 2024, it was probably the biggest move of his career. With one goal in mind, to conquer the welterweight division, Boots capitalized on the bigger opportunities given to him by his new promotion to secure a unification fight with Imantas Stanionis. From start to finish, Boots Ennis was the aggressor, making his opponent shell up like a turtle. The fight ended in the 6th round, with Boots once again proving why he is certainly one of the best fighters of this era. With the IBF and WBA titles secured and the welterweight division more or less conquered, Ennis and his team knew better than to stay at 147 if he was ever going to get in with the big dogs. Ennis made his super welterweight debut in his last fight against Wisma Lima. This was more or less a tune-up for what's yet to come, and it was on clear display at the Xfinity Mobile Arena in Philadelphia, where Boots stopped Lima in just one round. At 28 years of age, and now at the peak of his career, Boots Ennis has no time left to waste. He needs superstars on his resume, and now he is all but set to face one, Vergil Ortiz. Ortiz, like Lima, is one of those fighters who might not steal headlines, but the boxing community knows just how dangerous he can be. Another undefeated force, Ortiz terrorized the welterweight division before moving to super welterweight and doing the same. More than Boots, Ortiz has bigger names on his resume and is already seen as a superstar by many. However, he still needs names like Boots Ennis on his record if he is to cement that status. Managed by Oscar de la Hoya's Golden Boy, Ortiz made his professional debut in 2016 and went on a crazy knockout spree. Each man came and fell. The talent was there, speed, electric, reflexes terrifying. Only one of his first 6 fights went past the first round. This wasn't just any Mexican. This was a storm that had entered professional boxing. He started his career at light welterweight and soon moved up to welterweight, leaving a path of destruction in his wake. However, due to a serious health condition called rhabdomyolysis, a potentially fatal issue, he could not continue at the 147-pound limit. He had to move up in division without winning a major title. In January 2024, Ortiz made his super welterweight debut against Frederick Lawson. The fight started slow and ended in controversy. The stoppage seemed premature. Still, Ortiz moved past his first-round victory against Lawson and stepped into a WBC interim title fight against Serhiy Bohachuk. Bohachuk was an aggressive, hard-hitting pressure fighter who took Ortiz to the limit. With his undefeated record on the line, Ortiz survived 2 knockdowns and fought his way to a majority decision win. Immediately after this fight, Ortiz stepped into the biggest fight of his career against Israil Madrimov in Riyadh. Madrimov was no joke, a fighter who had taken Terence Crawford to the brink, losing only by decision. Ortiz had to be at his best. In a back-and-forth battle, he stood taller, his hands raised after the final bell. Ortiz's latest challenge, Erickson Lubin, a fighter with 29 fights, only 2 losses. One of his losses, a first-round knockout to Jermell Charlo, one of the biggest names in the sport. Lubin was definitely no stepping stone. However, Ortiz made him look like one, knocking him out cold in round 2 to shock the world once again. After the victory, Ortiz knew he needed a name that would take him from great to elite. No time was wasted. While still on the mic, talking about his performance, Ortiz called out Boots, who was in attendance. Boots responded, "This fight has been years in the making. Talks and negotiations have stalled, but finally, we are almost certain to see these 2 in the ring. This is the perfect opportunity. Stakes are huge. A loss here could derail either career. If he loses, he can forget ever stepping into the ring with the biggest names in boxing, like Crawford. For Ortiz, it's just as crucial. A win here isn't optional. It's the difference between staying relevant and being left behind. Both fighters know what's at stake. Careers, legacies, and a place among the elite all hang in the balance. One mistake, one loss, and the opportunity of a lifetime could slip away. Their styles are similar, yet worlds apart. Ennis's relentless, aggressive approach collides with Ortiz's lightning-quick attacks and razor-sharp reflexes. Neither man plays defense. They live to attack. Expect chaos. Expect fireworks. Every exchange could end it. Every round could shift momentum. And yes, this one could very well end in a knockout. Both fighters, same height, But Ennis, 4-inch reach advantage. Enough to control the distance, enough to dictate the fight. He can box outside. He can brawl inside. Ortiz, pure danger. One shot, one relentless body assault. Lights out. The opening rounds will be tense while both fighters feel each other out. Ennis probing with reach and angles. Ortiz pressing forward, targeting the body. Competitive, tactical exchanges erupt, punctuated by a few heavy shots. Momentum can swing in an instant. If Ennis frustrates Ortiz with footwork and counters, he could pull ahead or even score a mid to late stoppage. But if Ortiz's pressure and body attacks start breaking him down, a knockdown or TKO is within reach. If they go all out, this isn't just a fight. This is surely one of 2026's fights of the year. Who do you have? Boots Ennis or Vergil Ortiz? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video and hit subscribe.